Life Expressions. I'm your host, Chari Hinete Ilon. And today I have with me my guest, a talented individual who's from Mexico. His name is Luis Baza. He has a passion for veterinary medicine and a proven track record in sales and management. After completing a bachelor's degree in veterinary medicine at the Autonomous University of Mexico, Luis developed his skills in sales and business strategy and earned a diploma in finance for business. Luis has experience as a small animal veterinarian in clinical practice, regional sales representative for specialized animal products, and today he is currently pursuing an online certification in nutritional therapy at the School of Integrative Veterinary Medicine from Spain. Currently, Luis works as a corporate safety manager in a large corporation of a structural concrete firm or formwork company. With his vision to structure and position companies, Luis brings a multifunctional profile that can adapt to different industries. It is my pleasure to welcome to Life Expressions, Luis Baza. Hi, Luis.
Hi, Chari. Thank you very much for the introduction. I feel like, oh my God, who is that person? Oh, sounds great. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here.
I'm so happy to have you here on Life Expressions. Luis, we are here to tell your story about you being an immigrant in Canada. When did you first arrive in Canada?
Yes, Chari. Yeah. Well, I arrived the first time in March of 2017. I decided to travel to Canada as a visitor, just for curiosity, and take a short-time English course for a couple of months. And after I decided to go back to my country, and then when I go back to my country, I didn't feel great over there. I say, I didn't learn so much English. Why I don't try again? And then I come back to study another, a bit longer period of time English course. And in 2019, I decided to immigrate to Canada. Is when after I tested for almost a year and a half, I say, I like the place. I like the multiculturality, by the way. I like how is the life here, and why not? And then is when COVID-19 happened. And one of the companies that I currently work for, so they offer me a work, and then is the way how I immigrate here.
Okay, so meaning to say, when you first arrived in Canada, you did not have any plans to migrate to Canada, but you fell in love with the place.
Yes, I didn't have any plans to migrate to Canada. My first goal at that time was just to come, learn some English, develop my English level that was basic minus basic. So my goal was just to learn a little bit English because I was postulating myself for a international position in the companies that I was working for. And they require me to have a fluent English level.
Now you have a very good grasp of the English language. You are very articulate, especially now that you're also a member of Telecom Toastmasters.
Oh, thank you. Well, I like to say that, yes, I speak English and I understand and I am able to communicate myself.
Yes. Luis, so what really motivated you to immigrate to Canada? Like, what really made you say, okay, this is the country where I'm going to stay?
Okay. Well, it was some main points, Chari. I think the first one was the multiculturality is one of the most important that I consider. Once I start to learn a little bit more of the English language and I was able to communicate with different people, I have Russian friends, I have German friends, I have friends from Iran, I have friends from Pakistan, from Iran, from Brazil, from many different parts of the world. So that's was one of the points, the multiculturality. The language, once I pick up the language and I was able to communicate, I feel that I travel all around the world, and I didn't. I just have a lot of friends from different parts of the world, and one thing to connect each other is the language, the English language, because some of them, they speak German, they speak Philippine, it's Philippine language. I don't know if I'm correct, but was one of the main things. And the second one, I think the work opportunity. I see here a lot of work opportunity. It's completely different than in my country. My country is work, but it's a lot of people too. A lot of competition. You go to apply for a job and you go to an interview, and you see at least 10, 20 candidates for the same position, and you say, oh my God, probably gonna be hard, and it's very hard to get a job. And here I see that it's completely different. It's more fluid, more easy to go. The other thing was the nature. The third point was the nature. I love the nature here and the common respect that exists between the people and the nature. That is something that I notice very interesting. How the people share their life with the animals.
Yeah.
Let's not go too far. I live in New Westminster here in British Columbia, and I just need to drive 10 or 15 minutes to be close by to the forest. And you see house over there, and you can see deer, you can see bears, you can see coyotes, and you say, and the people walking, and it's like nothing happened. They are there, and they learn how to respect each other.
Yes.
And the last point, the quality life. I think the quality life is pretty good. You don't really need to super overwork or super killing yourself working overtime or doing a lots of forgettable job to live comfortable. That's something that you really have here. You need to work your normal 8-hour shift, and you are able to enjoy the rest of the day, and that gives you a very good life quality. You can enjoy the life, you can do sports, you can do many things as you want. You can be a member or Telecom Toastmaster, and you have the time to do it because the life quality is good.
Yeah.
I think those 4 points are
Very well said, Luis, and I totally agree with you. Can you share some of your challenges that you have faced during the immigration process?
Yes, I will share some of the challenges that personally I have. I'm gonna say that probably gonna be a challenge for everyone because every situation is completely different. But some of the challenges that I have personally, it was first of all the difference between the value of the Mexican peso to the Canadian dollar.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you make a good salary in my case in Mexico, when you transfer to dollars, it's not too much. And that's what's the first thing. It's like, okay, let's find a school. Oh my God, this is an insane amount of money that you need to really save money for 4, 6, or maybe 12 months. And that's the first challenge. The second one that I found is the cultural adaptation. As we talk about it, this multicultural place, and you don't know each culture, and each culture has his own traditions. And when you start to see that, is many different people. So adapt to everyone is like, okay, I don't know if I should stretch her hand, or I should give a hug, or I should give a kiss to say, hi, nice to meet you, I'm Luis. Or you say, hi, nice to meet you, I'm Luis, from 3 feet far away. That kind of things in the beginning was a bit hard to learn that part. And the last probably will be the language barrier.
Yeah.
That was the tough one for me. I am a person that like to speak. I personally like to talk a lot, so I consider myself someone that you can have a good conversation from any kind of subject. And in the beginning, not be able to express myself with another person's or communicate myself well was very challenging, was pretty tough, and in the beginning was even frustrating. But what I get from that is I get a bit of motivation to do it better. I say, I will try, and I don't want to give up, and I'm going to keep doing.
Yes.
But
How did you I'm sorry. How did you overcome those challenges, Luis?
About the multiculturality is like, just keep trying. Just keep saying with good attitude. I always go with good attitude, very positive and very friendly attitude, and that make me feel welcome everywhere I go. When I start to face that part of the multiculturality, I still with the same attitude, positive and with good vibes and happy, and trying just to be nice with everyone, like showing respect, and then I will get respect back. That's how I overcome that part with the multiculturality. The language barrier is something that I get later. Of course, I push myself. I was going to the English school from 7:30 to 9:30, 3 or 4 days a week, just to learn, just to practice. Probably Another person could say, I don't want to do that. I'm going to take a rest, or I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm going to do any other activity. But in my case, I was trying to push myself to learn the language to be able to communicate with others.
Good for you. Very good for you. How has your cultural background influenced your life here in Canada? And what aspect of your heritage do you continue to embrace?
Mm-hmm. Well, my cultural background, I can say in Mexico we have many traditions, but those are the basic tradition, like Dia de Muertos, like when we celebrate the dead people, the people to pass away, and the Mexican independence, we have that kind of things. Maybe the food, I can say, but probably when we talk about the background, I just get in my mind what my family teach me, what my mom, what my dad teach me. What I get is what I get now, and is what helped me to become what I am. And they just teach me basic stuff. Just, Luis, you show respect, you get respect back.
Mhm.
Just analyze what you're gonna do, and then you will get good things. As long as you smile someone, you get a smile back. And I just keep going with that ideas, and those ideas helping me a lot. And I consider that my background. I don't know if I answered that question, Cherry, but
Of
if
course,
I
yes, you did.
didn't clarify, just ask me again another, or I will try.
You did. But Luis, were you surprised at one point at some of the practices and the traditions here in Canada when you first arrived?
Yes, yes, I did. I noticed something that I will share with you and with your audience.
Yes.
That is something that really shocked me a little bit. When I start to enjoy Canada and spend more time here, I noticed something that Canadian culture have. Canadians are very positive. Canadians are very friendly. And Canadians are people to encourage you to try and to do things.
Yes.
It's something that I get it since the first time I step into the English lesson school. How I will go back a little bit.
Yeah.
How they encourage you and motivate you to try with positive reinforcement. It's like, hey, you can do it, and you do the minimum thing, and they make you a party. It's like, hey, you did a great job, you're amazing. And it's like, wow, thank you. I really didn't do so much, but thank you very much. And you get motivated.
Yeah.
And once I start to pay more attention in the Canadian society, in the Canadian culture, they are like that.
Yeah.
You go to the parks, and you see the kids with their parents, and their parents is like, hey, the kids fail, and the parents is like making a show, like, you can do it, you can keep going.
Yeah.
And that is something very motivating, that when I turn back and I see home, I didn't see that so much over there. Even one of the reasons why I didn't learn the English language back home is because first time when I tried in secondary school, we was practicing the letters or the numbers. I don't remember.
Yeah.
And somebody, the teacher asked me something, and I tried to do. I tried. I can't say I did my best, because maybe I didn't, but I tried, and I did wrong. And my partners at lessons, my co-students, they start to laugh. And I say, oh, okay. So I get to say, I never try again. That I didn't realize that at that moment. But after when I start to, I say, oh, yeah, maybe that's the reason why I didn't even try to learn the language. And many situations like that happen, at least in my experience.
Yeah.
When somebody tries to play soccer and you are not good enough, they don't play in team. They push you down. It is like, no. And if you are doing well, it's more people that are better. And I noticed that here doesn't really apply too much. Even if you do the minimum effort, they try to motivate you, they try to encourage you, they try to push you up.
Yeah.
And they really do, just with words, with attitude. And that is something that really I get it when I arrive here. I say like, whoa, this is different. Why not? I want to try.
True. It is a very positive environment. People are uplifting and very encouraging. And I'm happy that you have experienced that. Very good. But Luis, how about for the other people who would like to migrate to Canada? Is there any advice that you would like to give them, especially for those who are considering to come here, based on your experiences, of course?
Well, based in my experience and what I see with friends, with coworkers, the advice that I could give to the people to think in come to Canada is just to do the things right. Just do the things right since the beginning. Make your plan, create a good plan because each country have different requirements in order to visit or migrate to Canada. Analyze those requirements, make your plan, and go ahead. Just do it, but do it right. And think in the way that you are visit the home of somebody else. Each home have different rules. When you come to my house, probably one of the rules is take out the shoes in the entrance. And if you go to one of my friend's house, probably you can be allowed to enter with shoes and you have no problem. But each house, each country have different rules. Just analyze what they will require to you and follow them. Don't break them because after the time you can regret about it. I have many friends that they come as a visitors or they come as a student, and after they just decide to stay here just because they want, but they never try to do any process, solicitate any request to stay here in the country, and later could happen 1 year, 2 years, you never know. Sometimes you have no plan to stay, same as I didn't have, but after the things happen, I decide to stay, and I stay. But if you want to fix it, those little rules that you already break, it's hard because you cannot really do it that easy. It's better to do it right since the beginning. If you want to stay here or you are already here and you want to do the things good, just don't break the rules. Just do the things properly and find a way. It's many different options you can study. You can apply for multiple jobs. One of the companies will answer you as long as you don't stop to sending your resume or calling them or asking for an opportunity. In the end, somebody will answer you. Somebody will extend their hand. If it's not the option, the school is always a good option. You can learn something new, something that you feel passionate about, technology, different language, business, hospitality, many different things that is out there that they are very common here in at least in Vancouver.
Yeah, that is a very sound advice, Luis. But going back, or even during your early days as an immigrant, have you ever experienced being discriminated or being prejudiced as an immigrant?
Well, I don't think so, Cherry. Not in my case, but it's one of the things that I see is of course, we need to notice that what you put in your mind is what you will see. If I go out of my house thinking that he is racist and is harassment outside, I will find that in every corner. I will find that at job. I will find that with the neighbors. I will find that thing everywhere because I'm programming myself to see that part. But if you don't go to thinking in that part, you go to see the way more positive. Is like, something wonderful gonna happen to me today. Something wonderful will happen to you today. Probably happen, but I didn't even notice. If you don't pay attention in that kind of things, you don't gonna notice. The only probably close or similar to something like that, but it's not exactly like that I feel harassed or I feel discriminated or something. When I was preparing myself to be in charge of a manager position in the construction corporation where I work now, I have to take a course with high positions with a private company. There was your supervisors, superintendents, project managers, safety managers, and I arrived there and I remember you see it like a student and I see people like they say, oh, this guy is between 40, 45, 50, 55. I must learn from them. I'm gonna pay attention in what they have to share because I will learn from them. And then I didn't participate so much. They start the course, they start to participate, and then I didn't say nothing because I was trying to pay attention to what they say.
Yeah.
And they even come to me, the person that was giving the course, they asked me, hey, Luis, I was just want to ask you if you understand what we're talking about. I say, yes, I understand perfectly what everybody's talking about. And they start to complain about the Latin people don't follow the rules, Latin people don't want to do this, they one connect another, and then after 5 minutes, they start to complain and become a huge complaining about it. And I remember the expositor, the teacher, they was worried because they look at me, but I was like a rock, like nothing happened, like it's okay.
Yeah.
And they was trying, I just remember their face, like trying to make a face like, guys, what you guys are talking
Yes.
about.
Yes.
And well, I didn't even notice that part, but then finally I decided to participate. After I listened all that complaints, and they was complaining about that Latin people in construction projects don't want to follow the rules, don't want to do the paperwork, don't want to do this. They are excellent workers to do hard job, but not to accomplish the company and safety requirements.
Yeah.
And I just raised my hand and I just asked one thing. Sorry, gentlemen, did you guys ensure the workers understand the indications? I just asked that. And they was like, I say, well, gentlemen, if you as a supervisor, as a superintendent, project managers, safety managers, didn't ensure yourself to communicate, at least in the language of most of your workers, you cannot complain about that they don't follow the rules, because maybe it's just a fact of communication, because it's a language barrier. You guys need to understand that probably those people that you have in your job site or under your responsibility, English is not their first language, and you need to find a way to communicate themselves. And then they start to thinking about it, and they say, well, like, yeah, maybe you're right. It's like, yeah, we never think about it. And I say, yeah, it is true. It's not that they don't want to follow the rules. Probably they just didn't understand the indications you guys are giving to them. And well, that was one of the things. In the end of the course, I just finished the course. They make you a test. They say, you know, guys, in order to get your certifications as a safety leaders in management, you have to approve with 80% a test. And everybody was like, oh, I didn't know that it's going to be a test and stuff and this and that. So they give me the test. They say if you get less than 80% qualification, you wait, and we will give you some questions and we will see if you pass or not. So I was the last student in finish my test, and everybody, well, just one guy get finished the test and he can go home because he respond well. And everybody was like, yeah, just let's go home. So he didn't even understand the stuff. And I listened that part. I said, like, well, I don't care. Here is my test. And when the teacher was reviewing the test, he used to smile at me. He just put the stamp and he said, congratulations, Luis, you get 100% of the qualification. Wow. We are very happy, and it's more than clear that you understand even so much more than most of your partners here. But
100%. That's
yeah,
impressive. Congratulations.
it was nothing like super challenging, but I was trying just to, just do my part. But in my case, I didn't take nothing personal. I take that as a lesson. I take that, okay, this is the perspective they have of Latin people because we don't follow the rules. So then now when I become a safety manager later in the corporation, then I start to implement toolbox meeting or tailgates meeting in Spanish. And if we have workers from different nationalities, we have Portuguese, we have people from India, I ask them first, Do you speak English? You understand well? I can do something for you. And we start to develop the different documents in different languages to ensure that you understand in order to collaborate with the companies to follow the rules. Now you got to see, in the case of the company that I work, EAG Pacific Construction, you see the workers are considered some of the best because they work professional, they wear their glasses, they follow the rules, they do the paperwork. And I can say that the success of that part is that we implement a good strategy in how we communicate with them.
Yes, you are ensuring that they all understand the safety measures. And Luis, how has your professional life evolved since you came to Canada?
Well, Sherry, talking about my professional life, so as you mentioned in the introduction, I am a veterinary doctor in Mexico. That's the bachelor degree that I own, and I have also my business diploma. I stopped to work in the same field once I moved to Canada. I used to be sales rep, territory sales representative, brand representative for laboratories, for pet food companies. And I used to work in let's say, not the top positions, but it was a very respectful positions where you have everything. You have cars, you have all your technology equipment, you have all the resources that you want. And it's a very respectful work. Once I moved to Canada, I realized that I could not work in the same field. First, because I didn't speak English. And second, because I cannot apply for work positions as a veterinary doctor here. I need to revalidate my studies, and that revalidation is until you become a permanent resident, not before. Before you cannot do nothing. So, well, I see my life and I say, you know, Luis, probably you're going to stay here some years. If you're already planning to stay here, you don't know it's going to be 5, 10, or all your life. Let's take it in the way that it is. And I analyze what kind of works didn't require me high English level or English communication skills. And then I find opportunity in the construction site. Since I arrived here as a student, English student working part-time, I start to work as a labor and I start to grow in the construction field. I pass for all the positions. Actually, it is a requirement in order to become a health and safety coordinator. That was my past work before to be a manager. I passed to be a construction labor. And after I become skilled labor, carpenter helper, carpenter, I get the chance to become a lead hand. They notice that I have some leadership skills, and they give me the lead hand position. And after the lead hand position, they give me the chance to be a foreman, that is the person in charge to coordinate the workers to finish in the specific time and accomplish with the schedule. So I kind of did my small career in construction until I jumped to the health and safety area.
And now you're a health and safety manager. Kudos to you. Yeah, you really rose from the ranks. And even if you were a veterinary doctor back home in Mexico, you positively changed gears so that you could excel here in the country that you choose to stay in.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything depends what you have in your mind, what you want to do, where you want to arrive. Just to leave you every day to doing your best that day. If I was a labor guy, I was the best labor guy with attitude every morning to work. I was in time. I was doing all my tasks. When I become a supervisor, I was trying to do the best. I was the first one to arrive in the job site, the first one and the last one to go home. All that kind of things I was trying to do. But I think it's in your mind. Depends what you want to do. And also in the company that I currently work for, they give me the chance to structure the company, to work with the executives. And I say one day once they sponsor me, they say, welcome. I just make a good relation with the company owner.
Mhm.
I just write that things, I think that I can help you in all these things. One day I just drive to his house. I call him and I say, I'm here. I want to talk with you. And he said, okay, what's about? And I say, I have a experience developing companies. And I think I can do a lot for your company if you give me the opportunity. And if you believe in what I write for you in this paper, I arrive with a folder, with an introduction letter, with my resume there, and with a lot of points that I say, I noticed, I didn't mention that I noticed your company have lack in this part. But I say, I think we can reinforce this part and we can develop this area. And as long as we restructure, you can achieve bigger goals.
Yeah.
And he believed in me. He believed in me, and I take that experience from my business diploma from the previous companies that I work, and I bring all that to this construction company. And I take it as a lesson and as a challenge. That's how I take it.
That is very inspiring. You become what you think about most of the time. It is a matter of perspective and your beliefs. Can you share a memorable story that would truly capture your journey as an immigrant here in Canada?
Ooh, a memorable story. A memorable story, something that I remember, the same company owner that I'm talking you.
Yes.
One day, before I decide to move to here, I talked to him and I say, it's like my studies here are almost done, Jeffrey, and I will go back to my country. I'm gonna open a business over there, and that's what I'm gonna do. And thank you very much for the chance that you give me to work for you all these days. And I appreciate my last day at work gonna be in a couple of weeks. And he was like, Luis, I cannot believe what you are talking to me. I say, why? And say, what you plan to do back in your country? I say, well, I'm planning to open my company. I'm gonna do pet food products. I will do the best pet food products, natural pet food products for dogs and cats. And I will do that, and I will go back over there because over there I am a veterinary doctor, and I have a long list of contacts where I can sell my product. And he just asked me one thing, Luis, what Mexico have that Canada have not, in order that you achieve all the goals that you have and you make your dream true? And then I didn't know what to answer, and I was like, I take the decision and I will go back home, and thank you very much. And when I was driving back home, by the way, I have a business partner. My partner was already waiting for me in Mexico because we was planning. He was already making the budget and everything. And once I was driving home, I say, it's true. It's true. What my country have that Canada have not? Why I don't gonna make my dreams happen here also? And then I call my partner and I say, my friend, what do you think if we do our project here in Canada? I don't think it's a bad idea. Think about the Canadian market. The people is so friendly with the pets, and we have a great idea, and our products are positive. And he say, I think you're right. He come back after 4 weeks, and he come back to Vancouver, and we make a plan to achieve our goals, and we're still working on it.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's one of the memorable things that I get to my mind.
That's amazing. And your boss in the company that you're working in made sure that you stay here in Canada and helped you with your papers to migrate.
Yeah, I called him later the same day at night. I say, Jeffrey, I will stay here in Canada, but I will ask you for your help. In order that I stay in Canada, I need to find a work sponsor because my work permit is expiring when my school is done. Yeah. And he said, don't worry, Luis, let's do it. Let's find a way. Let's investigate how it's about, and let's make it happen. And some months later, so I get a work permit here with his company. That is something that I really appreciate so much, because he encouraged me to do that part, because he's from also from another country, but he also have that what I can call that positive way to encourage people, because he been living in Canada for his past 15 to 18 years. So he have that part too, that you can do it. It's like, let's go, let's try it. So he's already, I can say he's super Canadian now.
Wow, that's amazing. You are enjoying your life here. How has your perspective on the concept of home changed since immigrating to Canada?
Ooh, the concept of home. I think home is, I think you create your home, Cherry. I think you create your home. Doesn't matter where you go.
Yes.
You can create your home, right? You have friends in your hometown, probably. You have family. You have your relatives over there. You have your dog, your cat. You can have your most of your life over there. That is the home where you grow. But once you move to another place, so you will make your home anywhere you go, as long as you want it. You will make new friends. You will make new brothers there. You will have a new dog, or you can bring your dog. You're gonna make your home anywhere you want to make your home. Doesn't matter if it's in the middle of the forest or if it's in the middle of a island far away. You're gonna make the home where you want to.
Very good. Your home is where your heart is. You bring
Yeah,
it home with you.
you have it.
Yes.
You nailed it. That's pretty good.
Finally, Luis, what would you like to share with our audience, especially those who are aspiring to migrate to Canada, and even not in Canada, but just to have that positive mindset like yourself?
Okay. I will share something with all your audience that probably gonna, if the audience want to take it, they will take it and will help them so much. That is something to start to change my life when I start to see in that way, is that we have just two ways to think in our mind. Could be your positive or could be negative. Just two things. And those ones, they work just one at a time. One at a time. You have your conscious and you have your subconscious. Your conscious is what you control 100%, and is what you bring your mindset. If you decide to be happy or you decide to be unhappy, you decide to be angry or you decide to don't be angry. You decide that part. And the subconscious is where everything, all the stories, all your memories is saved. It's like a computer. You have all your memories, good or bad or medium experience, they are there. All the knowledge that you have to apply in your everyday, they are there in your subconscious. But your subconscious is something that you cannot control. You can control your conscience, and with your conscience, you have the power to, it's kind of the key to open that door. So to be more clear, you cannot be happy and unhappy at the same time. I never meet nobody in the world. If it's somebody that say, I can be super happy and super mad at the same time, it's impossible. Or you are happy or you are angry, or you are sad or you are happy. So having said that, you control your conscience 100%. Once you control your conscience, you decide what to think. You decide to think positive or you decide to think negative. When you think positive, you will activate your subconscious, and what you think your subconscious gonna bring to you, gonna bring all those positive things, all those good things related with that experience that you are creating, because you take the decision. But if you think negative, or you think pessimist, or you think sad, what do you think your subconscious gonna bring to you? They're gonna bring you all the negative and sad experience that you get in your life. So having said that, you have the decision. You have the power to decide how you wanna make your day, your every day. You want to be a good day, you want to be a bad day, be happy or not happy. That's your decision. That is when you have to take the responsibility. Yes. What you want to do, what you want to be. Of course, I don't say the world is pink color, but things will happen outside there. But okay, we cannot control the outside, but we can control what we think and what we do in our works every day. And I think that's a good thing. That's something that if the people think, when you're thinking, oh my God, my boss is so bad, thinking, who is responsible? Oh, well, I am, because I'm punished myself thinking and rethinking about the bad things that my boss did to me.
Correct.
And instead to say, I will learn just, okay, just the guy is telling me this for that, but I don't gonna feed more those negative things. I switch. I say, look at that dog, it's so funny, so beautiful. And look at my friends. And I try to see the positive things in the life.
Very good. Mindset is everything. And as
Yeah.
you are saying, you become what you think about most of the time. It is the choice that you make that makes the difference. And so the choices that you have made so far, Luis, have made you achieve what you have achieved so far from 2017 to 2023. Look at you. You're living the life you want, or your journey is very beautiful right now.
It is true. It is true, Cherry. You becoming what you think.
Yes.
And all the things that I'm living right now in a certain point of my life, in my past, I think about it and I create for myself. And it is what I currently have. So now depends on me how far I want to go, and depends of any one of us how far we want to go. We have no limits. If you think your life is going in the wrong direction, just change it. You have the power to move the boat and take the direction that you want, and don't take too long. Just do it. Just don't give up and go ahead.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Luis. Thank you so much for this opportunity and for sharing your insights. Your words have been insightful and inspiring and encouraging to our viewers. So I thank you so much for your time and for your stories.
Thank you very much to you, Cherry. I appreciate. Thank you for the invitation. I hope these words just arrive to the right persons.
For sure. Thank you. And till next time here on Life Expressions, if you like this episode, please feel free to hit the button like or share it with your friends. Again, I'm your host, Chari Hineri Ilon, and my guest is Luis Baza here on Life Expressions.